It's 7 o'clock. Let's get this started. My name is Casey Venema. I'm doing the moderating tonight. I'm your District 5 Commissioner. Welcome to the City of Keewatin Candidate Forum. Those participating are running for 2 open council seats on November 5th. Mayor Levine is running unopposed. Mr. Levine, do you have something for us?
Yeah, I'd like to welcome all the candidates. I'm Casey Venema from Itasca County Commissioner, District 5. This is my second term as mayor. It has been an honor to serve the community, and I will continue to do so for 2 more years. The current council that I work with has successfully collaborated with the following entries to secure over $1,150,000 in grants in the last couple of years. A few examples is a front entrance sign coming into Keewatin. First Street North, went out of town here, Orion Reservoir bathrooms, which they're just gonna start building. Their home, the sewer system's done, but the buildings are just starting to go up. Continued construction of the wastewater treatment system in collaboration with the city of Nashwauk. Improve the Boy Scout cabin to be utilized by residents. A vast amount of upgrades for the street department with equipment and walls and fixing of stuff up. Vast amount of equipment upgrades to the street department. And also the big thing for us, the Blaze Credit Union that moved into town this year. They really help us on our taxes. Also brought in Paul Bunyan Internet and TV. Bought a new mixer for the water tower. We finally got the tax base for Jarvis Field. We've been trying to get for years. We also have done the citywide cleanup 3 times. And this year we had a day of action. The council oversees 2 clerks, 4 street department, and 3 full-time police officers. There are currently 18 volunteer firefighters that support not only Keewatin, but other local areas. The city is currently working with an engineering firm of SCH for federal and state funding for a $10 million infrastructure project for the future. I will continue to collaborate with the IRRB, Blandon, CETA, DEED, Keewatin, DEMCON, and Range Gateway for 169 for opportunities that can enrich the quality of life here for our residents. The city is currently working on a budget seeking funds for replacing the roof on the fire hall and so much more. Again, I welcome candidates and extend any resident to stop into the clerk's office to sign up for any one of the number of volunteer or board commission opportunities. Thank you.
All right, our format for this evening will be a standard organized forum, timed with opening and closing statements. All of your answers will be timed. There's a time monitor out front, which there is.
Did not show up, and I apologize.
Which is my phone.
Very good.
So I will try to do it and let you know. So let's meet the candidates. We'll start with, well, you just met the mayor, so Mr. Nash.
Well, background about myself, but born and raised in Nashwauk, graduated from NK. I worked down in the cities for a while, moved back 17 years ago to Keewatin, been on the fire department now 13. Been involved in quite a few different public entities and volunteering in different ways, starting back in the early 2000s with the Red Cross down in Minneapolis, St. Paul area. I worked on a really big project with federal government, local government, city government, and all local state agencies. I've spent almost a full day on the 35W bridge disaster. Learned a lot about public works there. Once I moved back up here, got involved with got nominated by the past commissioner to be on the Cass County Park and Rec Board. So I'm currently still on, it's been slow and go. I helped Councilor Jibbery with Keewatin cleanup days, helped organize that, that went great. A lot of community volunteering. One cool thing about this city, we get a lot of volunteers. I helped Mayor Levine get the fishing pier and boat dock put in at the lake with conjunction with the DNR. Worked with Sarah through CETA. Myself and a bunch of other community members got together and started an ATV club to try and get a trail out of town that we all could utilize and get more people into town. So I think I could bring a lot to the council and help out and be excited to get voted in and help work on some of the big projects that are coming up.
All right, thank you. Bruce?
I'm Bruce Christensen. I'm a candidate for one of the open seats in city council. I was born in Chicago. I've lived in 9 different states. 28 years ago, I left the East Coast and came here, and I'm still here. I was a 4th of July chairman for 6 years, I believe, 5 or 6 years. I've been a licensed foster parent for 12 years. I was a licensed barber for 27 years. I'm a 750,000 mile road driver. I retired 6 years ago, but retirement and fitness, so I've been working for Fairview since then. And I'm married to Julie, everybody knows. Julie Wardine. I'm self-motivated. I'm a quick learner. I'm motivated, and I think that I think that I could be a good asset to the city council.
All right, thank you. Dustin Strand?
I'm Dustin Strand. I'm a 12-year Army vet, post adjutant general for the American Legion next door. 8-year firefighter here, volunteer at the volunteer fire department. Currently work at US Steel Mintac. Part of the ATV club that Randy had started. And I've been living in Keewatin for 19 years now. Been married to a lifelong resident for 16 of those 18 years. And I feel I can be a very large help to the city of Keewatin by running for city council.
Good. All right, thank you. All right, we'll begin with a 1-minute statement. Oh, I already went through that, sorry. Round 1, each question, the candidate will have the 1 minute. Listen to your answers because later there might be a rebuttal. So I guess be careful. Someone might come back with a question for you. So here we go. First one, Dusty, what does affordable housing mean to you?
Something that is income based and well kept by the management. That's really all I got is this income based housing where it depends on how much you make, is how much you pay for rent.
Okay. Bruce Christensen,
Could you repeat the question?
what does affordable housing mean to you?
Affordable housing is probably by and large federally or locally funded or supplemented. It's affordable housing is for a lot of people, it's a stepping stone to be in affordable housing and taking advantage of what is granted to them. And it's a good program. And I think that a lot of people have gotten a lot of help from programs like that. And it's a very purposeful organization.
Thank you. Randy, do you need me to repeat it?
No.
Okay.
Well, there's different levels of affordable housing. You got the income base. There's a lot of people know about it, Habitat for Humanity, they do it. It's not necessarily income based, it's more of a credit based, and what you can afford, and then there's making housing available to the normal blue working collar person at an affordable rate that they could build a house, live in it, pay the utilities, and become a resident of the city. So it's kind of a loaded question on what part of affordable housing. There's different levels of affordable housing. So I guess you go to apartments, that's wage based. That's a starting level, and then you can go up and get into like Habitat for Humanity, and then you can just already buy a house and buy a property at a reasonable price and be able to live there.
Okay, thank you. All right, question 2. This is to start, we'll start with Randy. What is your priority on the city council?
I guess it's not really a priority, but besides that, try and help make the city of Keewatin a better place to live for all residents. To continue working on some of the projects the current council has started. There's a lot of good ones. We try to keep the city looking good, and I know being out in the community that a lot of people notice the city of Keewatin is well kept. Summer and winter. Gotta try and keep that up, keep that reputation, and just keep moving forward.
Good. Thank you. Bruce, what is your priority on the city council?
Well, first of all, it's going to be a learning curve for me, as I have never served in that capacity previously. We have an aging infrastructure. Part of our infrastructure is aging, i.e. sewers, sanitary sewers. We have to have a very good concentration on that, and that, as I've been told, that there is now beginning like phase 1 of some rehabilitation to that. And that's one thing that the council has to stay on. It's a very important issue. And to learn as much as I can, I'm interested in grant money. I need to learn more about that and how to apply for it and how it works. There's been some talk about rehabilitating the playground here in town.
Sorry.
And that comes with grant money.
Thank you. Dustin, what is your priority on city council?
Mainly, my priority for the city council is betterment of the community. As Randy stated, I would really like to keep on with the current council's projects. And as Bruce stated, there is the revamping of the sewer system and plumbing of the aging infrastructure of this city. But mainly, but betterment of the community, in a whole.
Okay, thank you. All right, question 3 starts out with Dusty. How do you see the condition of housing rentals within the city? Want me to read it again?
Yes, please.
How do you see the condition of housing rentals within the city?
The main ones, like the apartments, they're well kept. I think the management that owns them does a very good job. But the smaller the houses that are rented in town, I think there's a lot of out of the city owners that don't see what their tenants are doing to these houses. And I think our police do a very good job with the blight situation. But just in my experience on the fire department, there's a few houses that need to be taken better care of.
Thank you. Bruce, how do you see the condition of housing rentals within the city?
I think that there's a lot of situations where the rent is pretty much out of control, too high. Too high for what they're getting. And the gentleman mentioned about the upkeep of those various properties, which I think I've noticed that, some places that are rented are, they sometimes don't feel the responsibility to maintain the property. There should probably be better standards and like qualifications for a house to be a rental house. And it's definitely not falling in the category of affordable housing. So, and I agree with the gentleman who said that there's a lot of out-of-towners, even people from far.
All right, Randy, how do you see the condition of housing rentals within the city?
Well, there again, there's different stages. I did forget to mention that I was on the zoning board also in Keewatin, and talking with the owner of the trailer park, they're looking at getting rid of a bunch of the old trailers and pulling in new trailers in conjunction with working with the city. So that'll help the trailer park be better, make the city look better, and you're gonna get bad landlords. You're not gonna have every rental be a landlord from the town the renter's in. And you're always gonna have those problems with the people that don't take care of things. You just gotta stay on top of it. And Chris Whitney does a great job as chief on doing blight, going around town, making sure lawns are mowed, yards are cleaned up. That's a big thing with the rental properties. We got the apartments, get a couple apartments going up north out of town. They're constantly working on them, trying to do their best to keep them up.
Thank you. All right, question 4, does Randy start with? How do you see the closure of Keewatin's grade school affecting the city?
Well, it's gonna be a hit. They pay quite a bit for utilities, which is gonna be hard to make up unless we can get some other commercial businesses in town to take that over. It is a good thing that the school district is getting a new school, because it's cheaper for us as residents, even though they hike their taxes to build a new school. But it's cheaper to build a school than to renovate the old one. And once the new one's open and that school comes down, there might be opportunity for development inside the town. The city gets the property back, which is a good thing also.
Good, thank you. Bruce, how do you see the closure of the Keewatin grade school affecting the city?
They're leaving a great piece of real estate behind, although a new school is a long time, it's been a long time coming. And it's modernized, the grade school here is outlived its life, and it's had a good one. So hopefully, they get that torn down and the property leveled out or whatever they have to do. It's something maybe commercial can go on there, or apartments or houses. It's not gonna be a waste of real estate, that's for sure. And the quality of the new school, everything's modern. It's all updated, and it's, that in itself is a good thing.
Thank you.
Casey, I'd like to comment something on that school. We're presently trying to, we're in negotiations with Keewatin to come in to replace the school for the utilities. They use about the same flow a day what the school does and what the mine would. So if they connect to our city, we gain back quite a bit more utilities.
Dustin, how do you see the closure of the Keewatin grade school affecting the city?
I mean, it's you hate to see a lot of work like that go away, but it is beyond repair. The cost to fix it is too astronomical. But as the other candidate said, once it's been removed and it will give up a lot of real estate to expand our town.
Good, thank you. All right, question 5, this goes back to you, Dustin, sorry. How will you lead or manage this city of Keewatin?
To the best of my ability, I mean, I'm gonna be working with 5 to 6 other people in projects that are throughout the town. If I am elected, I'm not gonna be leading anything, I'm gonna be helping. I'm not. I just wanna help, I don't wanna, I don't wanna come in and take over everything, that's not what I don't like how that question's worded. But I'm there to help, I'm not there to.
Okay, thank you. Bruce, how will you lead or manage the city of Keewatin?
Once again, this is gonna be a learning curve for me, and I've mentioned before, I am a team player, I'm pliable. As far as management goes, whatever council decides as a whole for whatever project they're talking about, or everybody has to do their best to help and give their input. Maybe do some research. And that's all I think.
Thank you. Randy, how will you lead or manage the city of Keewatin?
Well, the small city governments, basically our government's run by 4 councilmen and mayor. So we all gotta work together. And I look forward to working with everyone, but if I'm given a task or to take charge in a certain project, I'll do my best in leading it and completing it to everybody's expectations.
Thank you. All right. Question 6 goes back to Randy. How do you see the recreational areas in the city of Keewatin?
Well, they need work. They've been neglected for a while. So we got a very nice ball, baseball, softball, park, skate park, hockey rink down there. With a little bit of funding, I think we could, get more kids out playing, exercising, get them off the video games and computers and outside, enjoying the weather. And everybody knows the dinosaur park. It's probably as old as a dinosaur. So, some of the equipment up there is probably older than me. But there's funding out there. Sarah Carling and C does great work. She just got Wabana, 500 and some thou for a whole rec area through grants and other funding. And she works with the city, and that's a great asset to work with to try and get funding so that it doesn't come out of all the citizens' pockets.
Thank you. Bruce, how do you see the recreational areas of the city of Keewatin?
Not too good, especially the dinosaur park, for instance. I, as a matter of fact, had volunteered to be on the committee prior to all this coming up to investigate and more or less oversee the rehabilitation of, the park areas. I did some independent research on that, and I have come to the conclusion that the new modern way to make a city park for children is to make it for children and families. It has to be inviting, it has to be family friendly, it has to be handicap accessible. And the best way to get grant money for something like that is to go that route, handicap accessibility, family friendly, visually appealing place to go. And I, win or lose here, I'm still gonna be I guess I'm the chairman of that committee, or when it gets formed.
Thank you. Dustin, how do you see the recreational areas in the city of Keewatin?
I believe that they've been overlooked for many years now. But with the help of local businesses and local booster clubs and whatnot, I believe that we can get them back up into ship shape and usable for the community. I live a block away from the dinosaur park, and my kids and my grandkids and family have went there for the last 10 years. And even though it's in disrepair, we still like it. I think it's still a great thing for the community. And then my son, he also likes the skate park, and he brings his kids there. But I think with some help of the community and the local businesses and booster clubs and sports teams, I think we can get them back up.
Okay, thank you. Question 7 goes back to you, Dustin. How will you volunteer your time within the city?
I actually have a lot on my plate, even with taking city council. I'm a volunteer firefighter. I volunteer at the American Legion for Rotary Nights and the other events that we do. I'm with the ATV club, and this is all donation of my time.
Okay, thank you. Bruce, how will you volunteer your time within the city?
Good question. I forgot to mention previously that I also did volunteer with the United Way. And I'll do that again next summer. Read the question again.
How will you volunteer your time within the city?
With the situation with the parks and stuff, I'm going to continue my research for grant money, as I previously mentioned. As an addendum to that statement, I want to say that playgrounds are very important for children, very important. It teaches them about hierarchy. It teaches them about sharing. It teaches them about friendship. It teaches teamwork. It's really a very good learning tool for children. And the more appealing, the better the park is, the better it would be for children and their parents.
Thank you. All right, Randy, how will you volunteer your time within the city?
I just continue to keep doing what I do. Like I said, fire department takes up a lot of time. For a small department, we're very busy. I think we're up to almost 160 calls this year. Continue helping with the different groups with in the cleanup days and I help sit in on the 4th of July, help with the school, doing various programs with the kids. Whenever I'm available, that's where you find me, is volunteering somewhere, somehow. We have helped with the Legion. I'm not even a member, just go there to help. It's just something I do, right? Try to help people. Stay busy, try to stay out of trouble.
Thank you. All right, next question starts back with Randy. Do you have comment on how monies have been spent in the 2022-23 years, sorry?
No, I really haven't dug into exactly how they spent the monies. I know, listening to different citizens around the community, it is a hot topic that they pay so much in taxes, nothing gets done, and this and then there's that, but there's a lot more to the budget in running a city than just the taxes, because your property taxes is a tiny, tiny, tiny portion that only goes to the city. Unfortunately, the county takes a lot of it. In the new schools, in the new jails, so it's tough. So, sure, they did whatever they could to do the best they can to keep the fire departments and the police station, the street department, and everybody going. Everybody needs more money, so it ain't ever gonna happen. Never have enough.
Thank you. Bruce, do you have comment on how the monies have been spent in 2022 and 23?
Unfortunately, I have insufficient information to form a good opinion on that. But having said that, I will also say that this council, in my opinion, has been very efficient and very studious and transparent, and they've, in my opinion, have made good decisions. As I said, I want to reiterate, I have no information beyond that because I wasn't involved at all prior to showing an interest in the city council myself. So that's my answer.
Thank you. Dustin, do you have comment on how the monies have been spent in 2022 and 2023?
I've heard rumors about a little bit of, I don't even want to comment on that. They're not substantiated, so I can't comment on it. I don't have comment on how money is spent. I don't have enough information on that.
Yes, thank you. Question 9. Dustin, what would you support for the youth of the city?
I would like to see some sort of youth community events. I know the church down the street has one during the summer, but there's a lot of families that don't, practice religions or aren't, don't want to bring their children to church because of their faith, whatever, whichever reasons they have. I'd like to see an all-inclusive, community event for children, not just during the summers, but throughout the year.
Okay, thank you. Bruce, what would you support for youth from the city?
I heard an unsubstantiated rumor that there's a neighboring community that's closing their rec center, or they're contemplating closing their rec center. We have a beautiful skating rink here. I would be all for looking for, grant money to improve that, perhaps enclose it and expand it a little bit to accommodate other activities. They have the Youth Little League, they have a great ball program out in the ball fields here. But practically every kid in town participates in that. And the school speaking gets busy too with volleyball, t-ball. I could transport my granddaughter to so many places I can't even think of all of them, but
Thank you. Randy, what would you do to support the youth of the city?
I continue volunteering, helping the different organizations that do have community events for the youth. Like Dustin said, the church does do a lot, but also does our public library. If we could get them some more extra funding or grants, we can bring back the movies in the park and they had reptiles here one night. The library does a lot of good with the youth, which is good, because it's different than just rec. It's more teaching. Well, yeah, whatever arises, I would support anything for the youth. Youth need more to do, less computers, less video games, and more activities.
Thank you. All right, round 10 is question and answers. Each candidate can ask questions of another candidate. We're going to start out with Randy. You can ask one of the other candidates a question.
I got no question.
Okay,
We know each other pretty well, I don't know.
Bruce.
Wasn't prepared for that, I guess.
repeat the question, please.
You have the opportunity to ask one of the other candidates a question.
I plead the same argument as the gentleman to my left, but I think I'm trying to do something. If, I'll direct this to Mr. Nash.
All right.
If you're, let's say you and I are seated together on the city council, we would probably have to coincide with each other, stick with the team.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know that.
Okay.
That's like to do what I want.
All right.
Yes, I have no questions.
Okay. Question and answer here. Dustin, what are ways the city could reduce blight here in town?
I actually think the city does a very good job, the police department especially with the blight issue we have. We really don't have a whole lot. I mean, there's a little bit, but Chris comes and talks to everyone, and people are mainly respectful and clean up their property if there is, and mow. I don't think we have a blight issue.
Okay, thank you. Bruce,
Life goes a little bit deeper than not cutting your grass. It's siding falling off your house, it's your garage leaning over like a leaning tower of Pisa. It's your roof half peeled off. Somehow there has to be a better enforcement. for, some of these issues is, turns out to be like a health issue or a personal safety issue, like your roof peeling off every time the wind blows. The garage moving over like this. There's a, I think I heard the IRRB helps people take their garages down. I may have been misinformed. But there's a lot of ways, there's a lot of problems over the tall grass, like I said, and trash in the yard. And these issues have to be addressed a little more thoroughly.
Thank you. Randy?
Well, like Dustin said, Mr. Whitney does a great job trying to do the best he can with what he can. But blight can be a bigger problem than just go tell somebody to clean up their house. There's a lot of legality involved. And if they are cited, it could take a year, year and a half to go through the courts to be able to just go in and fix something. It's a tough situation, but I know going to the council meetings and listening to the council that they did mention about possibly hiring a contractor / building inspector to help with some of the building type stuff that Bruce mentioned. So that if it does go to court, they got somebody besides just one of us saying, hey, that looks like crap. And then the licensed inspector to back up siding falling off and whatnot. So blight can be challenging to get people to clean up their properties and fix their properties. Just gotta stay on it and do the best we can with what we got.
Thank you. All right, this is a lightning round. The candidates will have the simple opportunity to answer the questions yes or no or pass. So we'll start with Dustin. Do you feel safe living in the city of Keewatin?
Yes.
Bruce, do you feel safe living in the city of Keewatin?
Absolutely.
Randy?
Yes.
All right, Randy, would you support more community events?
Yes.
Bruce? Support more community events?
Yes, I would.
Justin? Okay. All right, well, that's all the questions. You get 1 minute for closing statements from each candidate. Randy, you're first.
Well, I hope this little public forum helps everybody learn about the 3 candidates up here, and if I get voted in, I'll do my best to help the community. And if anybody ever wants to stop and ask questions, I feel like very approachable and can talk to just about anybody. I work over at Keewatin Auto every day, all day, so I'm available all the time if anybody else got any other questions. Thank you for your time.
Bruce,
Please repeat the question, please.
you have your closing statement.
No.
1 minute.
As I previously stated, if I'm elected to a seat on council, I would be open-minded and available for, volunteer situations or
Okay, thank you. Dustin, closing statement.
I'm not very good articulating words, but if you come up, talk to me face to face and you have questions for me, I have no problem answering them. I'm just hoping to do what's best for the city and improve the city as much as I can.
Okay, thank you. Well, with that, Mayor, do you have any closing thoughts?
No, I think we got 3 good candidates here. I move forward.
Okay. Well, with that, we're done. I guess I would suggest the candidates stay around and visit with the residents that are here that have questions now. Thanks everyone for coming.